So guys, today we're going to be talking about Fusion 2. I built Fusion absolutely years ago, and that was one of the starting factors around Samuel & Co trading. So I automated my own trading strategy and applied that to the FX market. So in this video, I'm going to be exploring a little bit more about Fusion 2, how it does what it does, and a little bit about the journey in the markets around AI and automated trading. This video is brought to you by our lovely sponsor FX Choice, who are a great FX brokerage. Be sure to go check the link out in the description and find out a little bit more about them. So I actually developed Fusion, the initial concept, in 2016, which is a long time ago. I was doing a lot of automated trading ideas before that, but the true final concept came around in about 2016. And it all started because I wanted to automate my trading when I went for lunch or when I made a drink, such as a tea. And its initial name was actually called Mr. T from trading. And we built up Fusion to be able to make between 2 and 5% a month based on the market volatility, trading on pound against the US dollar. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm going to show you some of the results of what we've been performing in the markets live on MyFXbook. So let's go take a look. So we're looking on MyFXbook, which is what we use to track the performance of Fusion. As you can see, since January 2020, you can see that we're actually up roughly just over 51%. And that is huge. Over on the year there, you can see that we finished up nearly, that we just around past the 40% mark, which is a huge percentage to be able to make in a year, especially a 1 to 100 leverage. So we managed to do that, and this side of the year we're already up 11–12%. Absolutely amazing gains on Fusion. If we scroll down here, we can see this year we're already up 8%, and we can see all of the stats here. We had one absolutely blinding month back in March, which was a lot of volatility last year, but you can see the average sort of month here is between sort of 2 and 3%, performing very nicely. So as I said, it trades strictly on pound against the US dollar because it's one of my favorite currencies, and I'm also from the UK, so it made sense to target something that I was comfortable with. You can see it places so many trades as well. So let's have a look at this year. We've placed already 359 trades automated. So Fusion is copying what I want on the inputs. So I'm inputting the metrics of what I want it to trade, what settings I want it to use, what risk I want to use. And that's all manually inputted, and then I'm turning it on as an automated tool to replicate what I want it to do in the markets. Once I'm finished, I can turn it off before the weekend and turn it back on a Monday. So this takes over that sort of task that I don't have time to do on the 5 minutes, constantly monitoring the chart for opportunities, and it does all that for me. For those that don't know, it's like a macro, which is automating of what you kind of listed out for it to do on a rule by rule action. And that's exactly what it's done. And this tool has managed to get us huge awards. So that's a little bit more about Fusion. What we're going to do now is we're going to go head over to the chart and find out exactly what Fusion is doing on the pound against the US dollar and how it's benefiting from the volatility. So I am running the account on YLD FX brokerage. This is where the account's been on. The history, actually, you can see here it's up £51,000, which is awesome. When we look back through this, you can see that the algo is designed to take multiple trades, both sells and buys in the marketplace. Now, if we take this as an example, it bought into the trade here, decided that it wasn't going to work out, so it sold at the bottom here. Then it sold again, and price came back up. So it bought and bought to hedge to the upside, and then it added in these positions here, and then closed what we call the bucket of trades to the upside, allowing for the total hedge to come out with profit. Then it opened a sell, it picked the trade right, and it managed to close out right at the bottom down here. Fantastic trade, no hedging needed. It then sold, price rallied against it, so it had to buy, and it dropped back down again, so I added. And what it does is the price, it will add to the side where the market is moving until it can close out of the trade, which is what it's doing. This tool is fantastic for setting up onto your currency that you want to trade and allowing it to trade based off of your inputs that you've put in to the market. You can see it's bought in here, got right out at the top, bought in again, got out the top, bought in again, and then it had to hedge to the downside. That tends to be what happens with this algorithm. The algorithm is very intuitive to the market, and it benefits from trading usually pound against the US dollar, and it will trade in direction with the trends that you've put within your inputs. In my case, I've got mine set to take into account the daily trend so that it is focused on taking the momentum of the daily into account. And then on the short-term time frames, you can see that it trades in a motion where it takes advantage of these small blips in the market, and it means that I don't have to sit here and manually watch my positions. It does it all for me. So all I have to do as the trader, I have to input the initial settings, turn my algo trading on to true, wait for this lovely green button to turn up here, and I am set to go. And what this will do is it's like a macro. It just follows a simple rule of instructions, such as these rules here, which they're basically copying what I want them to do. So the reason why I built Fusion was to take advantage of trading the 5-minute time frames for when I am not here. You can see it's actually in trades at the moment. It's actually in 3 buys and 1 sell, is what we're seeing at the moment. And you'll see that it will move based on how the market is performing. And it's taken advantage of all of these small discrepancies in the market that you would have to sit here day and night to take full advantage of. So this makes my life a lot simpler, because it means that when I get to my desk in the morning on a Monday, I just turn it on. I turn the setting to stop trading on a Friday, and so I don't have any risk exposed on the weekends unless I'm in a hedge. And overall, I monitor the positions, and if I don't like them, I close them out manually. But this is the beauty of using almost a macro in that sense, where it's following the rules that I've inputted, executing them for me in the market, and then closing them based on the settings the user has put in. This makes life so much easier when we're trading the financial markets, because obviously it allows me to then focus on my long-term research, looking at stocks and longer plays, rather than having to focus on 5-minute charts and worrying about those intraday plays, especially on those days when I don't have the time. Obviously, when I do have the time, I'll be sat there watching every FX trading pair on the majors, and I'll be trading intraday. But this means that I don't miss any of those discrepancies when I'm not at my desk, and it allows me to take advantage based off of the rules that I've put in place. So overall, I cannot vouch enough for Fusion 2.0. It's fantastic for returns. As I said, it's up over 51% on this account that I've been trading, and you can see all of the different performances here with the hedging and how it takes advantage of the markets. So as you can see here, it's sold, got out with profit, sold, got out with profit, sold, then it had to hedge to the upside, got out with profit, sold, closes a loss. When the market then opened after the weekend, it sold and then had to hedge its way back out, and so on and so forth. And it takes advantage of these plays every single day, and it will hedge until it's out of the markets. So sometimes when we're in a hedge, as of lately, you can see this was a rather large hedge. You may decide to manually close it depending on your comfort layer of open drawdown, or you may decide to let it go until it closes out. As you can see, we're now in a hedge at the moment, and if the market rallies, it will close this bucket of trades with a total P&L profit. So that's a little bit more about Fusion 2.0. And seeing it live on the charts of how it moves and how it's operating. So guys, thanks for watching. I hope you've really enjoyed this video. If you would like to find out a little bit more about Fusion 2 past this video, then come join us on our webinar this month. The link for this will be in the description. Sign up, it's free, and we can explore Fusion 2 a little bit more together.